Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Race to Wealth, where we help you with your financial health to get fit. My name is Delcine Thomas, and I'm your host.
And I'm Vanessa Harrison.
Yes, and again, Delcine Thomas. You can reach if you ever try to want to get in touch with me. You can reach me at delcinethomas.com. You can also reach me on Facebook at Delcine Thomas. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn under Delcine Thomas.
Yeah, and I'm Vanessa Harrison on all social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yes.
Let's connect.
Awesome. Our intentions of the day.
Oh, so today our show is titled Presentation is Everything. And, you guys who have been watching know that we like to start out with our intentions for the show. So the intentions for the show is to help you to really think about how you are presenting, what you're presenting, and how other people are presenting things as well. So presentation is everything.
A presentation is everything. So when you look at life, almost everything in life is about a presentation. But most of all, we hear about presentations being used in business establishments. Almost in every business arena, the football arena, the basketball arena, in the judge's office, in the president's office, they're always presenting. A presentation, the first word, presentation. So it's all about your presentation. Like I said again, in the business industry. So just on that note, if you're into football or if you're into basketball, if you look at politics, you see when anyone in politics from the White House, when they get up to speak, they have notes in front of them. They've also might have been practicing or going over their information because it's very important, it's very valuable, and it helps you to come across to let everyone know specifically what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. With the words that they speak, with the words that people speak, they're presenting.
Exactly.
With everything. If someone approaches you and they have on a uniform, they have a badge, they have, certain type of shoe on, you already know who they are before they even open their mouth and say a word to you at all, because they're presenting themselves in such a way. And a lot of businesses do this. They have uniforms for the way that they dress.
Yes.
Some uniforms are enforced. Like every police officer will wear a certain thing. Judges wear a certain thing. And football players wear a certain thing. Cheerleaders wear a certain thing. We're all wearing different things. But then in other professions, it's not exactly, mandatory.
Exactly.
It's not mandatory that teachers wear those cardigan jackets, but you see teachers in that all the time. And it's not exactly mandatory that that realtors wear a suit, but a lot of them choose to do that. It's just all about how you decide to present yourself.
Exactly. And so doing that, I was even just thinking about in the airline industry. You see the pilots, airplane flight attendants, they have a certain uniform that they wear because it's about presentation. Of course, in the police department, it's about presentation. That's why they have uniforms, because they're presenting, the industry, the government, or the city, or the state. Even the mayor, he just might wear a suit, but he is presenting. Every time he comes and gets in front of the camera, he's already talked with his staff about the information that he wants to relay to the public. So presentation is everything. It's so vitally important. And just on another note, as far as presentation, when you go into a boardroom to present information, you might use a PowerPoint presentation. And using a PowerPoint presentation, there are certain things that really stand out to a lot of people. You want to use colorful slides. You might want to use a video within your slide. And the information, different type of books that you read, and things like that.
So what the different slides and things that catch people's eye, are the things that you want to use. And I have even been tricked, visually by presentation before. I tell you what, listen, I gotta tell you. So in our business, I have these magnets on the side of my car, right? And, with credit restoration is one of our most popular, items. So with these magnets on the side of my car, when I was advertising that, people would flag me down, and I know what they're flagging me down for. You have them on your car, you know what they're flagging you down for. So this man, he was flagging me down. He was like, "Hey, ma'am, excuse me," and I said yes, yes. And he said, "Ma'am, I keep seeing your sign. I really need to get, I need to get started with your services." And at first glance, when I saw him, I didn't really know who he was, because he was wearing some rugged clothes. His teeth were like all messed up, and I thought that I didn't know if he was serious about it. But after talking with him, I found out that he and his wife were both degreed. And they had money, but he was flagging me down because he needed our services in credit restoration, because the kind of procedure that he needed on his teeth, he had to have credit in order to get the procedure.
In order to get the money
in order to get the money to get the orthodontic work done. And so he did. He got started with our services, and he got them fixed. But even with their degrees, I didn't know who he was whenever I first saw him. But then after knowing that, I was like, wow. So some things you can't get done because of
what's going on. Right. Yeah, presentation is everything. I mean, even with myself, I have a jewelry business, and so my jewelry boutique, when I go to set up at different events, depending on how I set my boutique up, it attracts people, or people might not come over. So I have a table. Of course, I know all of you probably seen this at a lot of events. Most people have a big banner to say who they are and what they have, or either their tablecloth across the front. You may have a picture of that person, their information, where they can be contacted at. Also, you might have business cards or stationery on your table, so people can sign in, so you can give them a free gift. Free gifts. Free gifts, and so forth and so on. So presentation really makes a difference. Matter of fact, we were just talking on the phone the other day, and we were talking about presentations because we knew we were going to talk about this. And I said, when you look at it, your life has been a presentation.
Yes.
When our parents took us to school, they dressed us a certain way. How the teachers were met us and greeted us. I think it had an effect on the way we were dressed, or the way that we were told to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, or no thank you, instead of no. Just a little soft in the wrong way. So even, growing up in life, your life has been a presentation.
Yes, it has. And then, that with the teachers, when they have, meet the teacher, they welcome the families in so warmly, that you go, oh yes, my kid is going to be okay here, because parents do want to know that. And then, even more than how we speak to someone or what we're wearing, even us as kids, we have like characteristics that present themselves that later you say, I knew this person was going to be this kind of person, because ever since they were little, they did this or they did that. Listen, I gotta tell y'all, this is so funny. I have a brother. I know you're in the military, and I have a brother who's in the military too. And we kind of knew that he was going to be like in the military or
Wow.
do something extraordinary, be some
Wow.
kind of man of adventure. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, one day we were all in the house, right?
Right.
And we were all in the house, and something big happened. But my brother, he sprang right into action.
Right.
So we're all in the house, and somebody said, "The house is on fire." My brother said, "What? The house is on fire?" We had this balcony this on the second floor.
Uh-huh.
And he ran. He said, "The house is on fire." He ran and he bicycle kicked in the air to jump off of the second story of the house.
Oh,
Boom.
my God.
And landed on his feet. And we were like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing." And then we were like, "But our house is not on fire. It was the house next door that was on fire."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But, we knew he was going to be a man of adventure.
Yeah.
He knew that there was some danger. He made sure everybody knew the house was on fire.
Right.
Then he ran and he bicycle kicked off of the second floor.
That is amazing.
True story.
And see, that's what we're talking about, presentation.
We knew he would be a man of adventure.
And see, and that's even in your children or your family or your sisters and brothers. For those of you that are listening, you probably seen things like what she just described in your family or
Yeah.
in your cousins, uncles, or whoever, teachers. Principals or just friends, even in your friends, they were
Yeah.
doing things like she said coming up, and besides that, I have to bring up the fact that even in church services they have a presentation, they study, they've gone to college for this, they have sacrificed their life, and they become the presentation that they have longed to be, which is to serve God, which is the Word of God, and how that impacts our lives, impacts people's lives. I know so many people around the world have been saved from the Word of God.
Yeah.
Getting saved and knowing Jesus as their Lord and Savior, because
Yeah.
yes, He is. He will make a way out of no way. God is so good. God is so faithful. And I just have to add that into our talk show today.
Listen, there is something about the Word of God, because
yes.
the way that when you hear things, how it prepares you for the next thing and prepares you for the next thing. It's like a grooming of sorts. Whenever you hear the good news, it grooms you and grooms you and grooms you. And then I know that there was a story that someone spoke, and what they said really let the people know that they were of God, and they couldn't hide it, because no matter what they say, your speech gives you away every single time. Your speech gives you away, because you've been groomed to be a certain way, groomed to present yourself in a certain way.
Yes.
And and even going through the church services, it really prepares you.
It really
Because
does.
there's a way that they start, a way that they go in. When they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. There's like a real order. Everything is so decent and in order. The presentation really, welcomes people in, gives people a certain message,
right.
And then that they take with them.
Exactly.
The next step and the next step.
And they give them joy when you first come in. The people that greet them in service when they first come in, that's big time presentation. Because you don't know what people are going through in life.
That's true.
And all of us go through something at some time or another: health, financial situations, loss of loved ones, just all sorts of different kind of. So when you come in and get that joy or that greeting of someone saying hello to you, how are you? I mean, that really makes a difference in your life, and in your families. Like, families come in, not just a single person. So she is so right. That presentation from beginning to end, welcome them in, and then of course, the gospel of the songs and everything to help you to relax in this atmosphere, because you need that warmth and security about coming in to an environment that you when you need help.
Yeah.
You know, when you need help, it's just like when you go to work. There's a presentation. You go
Yeah,
there.
is.
You got a time to be there. You've already know what your line of work is. So you come in, you get your paperwork out, you start your computer up. You know you're gonna start taking applications from someone, or either you're gonna be giving out information. You might be customer service. There's a presentation on how you be the beginning. At the beginning, the middle, and the end. And on that note, I wanted to just bring up something that I had researched a little bit as far as business professionals. A lot of business firms, their presentations are to inform, educate, motivate, persuade customers and clients or the audience. And that's what we need overall
Yeah.
when it comes to business
Yeah.
and different corporations. In order for them to run correctly, people
That's
need
true.
to know the order.
That's true. And that reminds me of a scenario that I was reading about. There's a psychologist, Cardia. I'll say his name in just a minute. But it's a psychologist who said that people are changing the way that they are doing business now because because of, after everything that's happened in the world, people are starting to work from home. People have, are in business for themselves
Right.
because they're just not sure how reliable and how stable things are in the market. And he said that even doctors now have this big issue.
Wow.
And the issue is that people, when they make doctor's appointments, a lot of times the people don't show up for the doctor's appointments
Right.
at all, and they don't call and they don't let them know.
Right.
And it costs a lot of money for the doctors. And so one of the very small ways that they tweaked their business was to have the customers, instead of giving them a card, an appointment card that says, please, we'll be glad to see you back, August the 3rd, on this day, and it's already written in. Now doctors are giving out that appointment card so that the customer or the patient can write in their own appointment.
Oh.
And just by doing that one thing, they have doubled and quadrupled the amount of people who actually show up to their doctor's appointments. And that's one of the things that I really love about what we do with finances. And this is not the sales pitch of it all, but it is so true.
Yes.
That when customers come in and they are having, some issues with keeping up with their finances, one of the ways that we get them involved is that they have a portal that they can go to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that they're involved in the process. Because I know before working with our organization, I said, I'm going to get all of my finances in order. I mean, they were in a real disarray. And so I got with a company, and I didn't see what was going on. I didn't know if my scores were going up, if my, things were being disputed. I was really in the dark about it. But after coming to our company, and I can pull up anything about my finances at any time, that really helps me, because if I know that my score has to be at a certain amount to make this purchase or to have access to this amount of money, I can easily go to the portal and see, is my score in that range? And then you'll know exactly what you're working with. So if you go to a car dealership, they don't have to run your credit, 27 times.
Exactly.
Yes,
and at that
You'll
point
already
adding
know.
up to bring your score down just for so many people or so many car dealerships running your credit. Because your score does drop, even if it's a point. You don't even want that point to be falling down.
Right.
And just to piggyback off of what you were just talking about, also in buying a home, if you don't know it, we've been always doing research. Come to find out that there is a certain number that they use to verify your credit and use it towards you buying a home. They don't use all three scores from all three bureaus. They use one score for one bureau. And which one do you think that happened to be? The lowest score. I'm telling you, like she said, it's really important that you want to work on that.
And that you know all
period.
of them.
Not the one score, but credit repair, definitely. And you want to get with us because we have the perfect program for you.
That's true. That's
yes,
true.
we do. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and that's really important what you say, because even financially, there is a way to present yourself financially.
That's right.
Because everything about you is a story. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you walk into the room, there is a certain story that you bring with you. The way that you look, the way that you move, the way that you talk, the way that you flow, the way that you bring others in. There is a whole story that you're walking around with. Just like with music professionals, whenever they come onto the stage, they have their theme music going. You could hear their theme music. You know what they're about when they walk out onto the stage. That's exactly what your credit score is when it comes to your finances.
Exactly.
When you go up to go and purchase a house, people want to know, what is your story financially? Should I be able to lend this person this amount of money? Well, how do they know that? They look at your credit score, theme song.
I like that. That's good. Ooh.
Because
that's no harm on nobody. I want y'all to know that, because
that's true. We're not judging. No, that's not the case. But when you walk in, it makes a difference, because maybe some people can relate. Have you ever gone into a place and they run your report or whatever? They come back, they start calling you Mr. or Mrs. Or the opposite happens. They come back, then they leave again, and they come back and they leave again. They're trying to figure out, how is this going to work?
How is it going to work?
So present yourself credit-wise.
And there you go. And in presenting yourself credit-wise, we mean getting in touch with us at one of our contact information, where we can help you to get the score you need to get that house or that car or that boat. Why not? Why you can't have a yacht? You may be looking to buy an airplane. We don't want to leave anybody out at any level.
That's true.
Education for your children.
That's true. Because, some people, when they hear that information, they think, well, my credit's not that bad, or, my finances, they're kind of okay. That's not the point.
Right.
We have so many people on so many different levels who are looking to make sure their finances are completely organized. Some people are coming in because they need to work on their credit. Some people are coming in because they have all of these things in their financial portfolio, but they're not organized. They have real estate over here and over there. They have these accounts and those accounts, and they just want to make sure everything is streamlined so that, they know where they can pull assets from.
Right.
And if anything were to happen to them, they'd also know what to do.
Right.
I was just watching Candy Burris, who is a professional in her own right. And she and the guy who was interviewing her were talking about the importance of life insurance. And as you know, our business partners have access to that, qualifying. And they were talking about how you can use life insurance to create a family bank.
Wow.
So the way that you do that, everybody said, oh, that's interesting.
It is.
Because you can go to this bank and that bank and this bank and that bank, but listen to what they said. They said that everyone in their family gets insured with life insurance, and it all goes into a trust. It goes into a trust. Okay. So if anyone in the family passes away, then the life insurance that they get from, some people might think, they pass away and you get life insurance, but that's the way all of us are going to have to go one day. That life insurance policy pays into the trust. So the trust is built up, with each person who is passing away, but then their family they borrow off of that money. They have different rules that they must follow when it comes to the trust of their family. So it's building up the generations, like each generation is building up and building up and building up. Yeah. And so the people don't have to go and worry about if they have to borrow from this bank or that bank, and then they can have their own family businesses to start. They can build their own school if they want to, have their own hospital, do whatever.
Right.
They have rules set for that trust fund. You know. Yeah. Okay. I thought that was interesting.
Very interesting. I had never heard it put like that before, but that's excellent. That's very excellent. And you said that was also for life insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well,
For
that's
life insurance.
wow. Well, we have a product and services as well where we help people with life insurance in our business as well. So if you would like more information, again, uh, definitely leave
Let
a
us know.
comment or either Delsing Thomas on Facebook on my DM or
Vanessa Harrison.
on the DM.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And I don't know if Candy Burris has any link with life insurance or anything like that, but when
Right.
she was talking about it, it made a lot of sense.
Wow.
It
Okay.
made a lot of sense.
Right. Well, you know what? Overall, focusing on the importance of a presentation in business can be the difference between nabbing the right employees or customers and investments. So, I just want to just throw that out there for some additional information. But you know what? Real quick, we're going to take a break and we're going to take, commercial break. And we're going to get right back to you with some more excellent information. And I know you just stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. You definitely want to hear the rest of this.
Oh my God! I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business owner that is struggling to promote your company?
Our topic today is what's your status?
Shoot the dice at this
Hey,
point.
you just shoot the dice, roll the dice.
So,
Yes.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's attorneys. Victoria Blanco.
I love it.
Imagine being televised on a national platform. How about being a host or sponsor on a syndicated podcast? Or being featured on exclusive promotions and interview for your product to your ideal customer? Hi, I'm Kayla Sneed, and I'm head of sales with Boss Up Houston. And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify. I'll be seeing you soon.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
This is Jay Williams, and I am representing myself and my husband Christopher as the real couple for Married Date. We are super excited about this opportunity. But just to give you a little quick review of how we actually met. Chris and I met in 2001 as colleagues while working at a major insurance company here in Houston. 2 years later, we started dating because we met again at a club. Actually, it was just a party. It wasn't actually a club. Anyway, I felt hard for him and he felt hard for me. Whenever he would call, I would say, my husband's calling. So I feel like I manifested our relationship and I have no regrets of that. Christopher and I got married in 2006. We've had a bumpy road. It has not been all juices and berries, but it has been worth it. The love we have for each other is real and it's strong, and it is faith-based. And so we have been married for 15 years now. We have 2 adult children and 1 amazing grandson.
Hi, hey you guys.
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of Race to Wealth. Thanks for coming back and joining us here today.
Definitely.
Today we're talking all about presentation.
Is everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Right.
So we're going to jump right back in. So I just wanted to just give you a little bit of information of what I found while I was doing some research. And come to find out, researching the information on presentation, about 5 different things that I made note of is that when you're doing a presentation, you want to be yourself.
Yeah.
You want, because being yourself makes you more comfortable. You can't be anybody else, regardless of how the other person sounds, how the other person looks. You have to be yourself. You have to do your look, and make yourself feel good within yourself on the outside as well.
That's so true.
Yes, definitely. The other thing is tell your story. Whatever you're talking about, whatever your presentation is about, tell the story of it. Because what it's going to do is going to draw people in and be like, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know how like when you're looking at a movie and you just sitting there just waiting. It's starting out, right? You just sitting there and you're all tense. I have when I watch certain movies. And the title, first of all, is a presentation.
That's
horror, that's not in my category. Y'all can tell
That's not in mine either.
What?
I don't do scary.
No. It's got to be real, like lightweight, like suspenseful, scary. All the blood and gory. I'm like, I ain't watching that. I'm gonna be real with you. Forget it. I don't want to see him chopping heads and chopping limbs and all that. I'm not there. Okay, but like I said, so movies are awesome. Just to name a few, right? Black Panther. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was so good. The presentation was everything because everything they did was so on point.
Yes, and so it was so it was just so interesting. It was amazing.
Get some vibranium. What is that?
Yeah, that was
chemical?
Some vibranium, girl.
Yeah.
The technology.
I got some in my trunk.
Oh. There's probably something really in there in the engine. Doing something for the engine. But I mean, so many other movies. Especially, how about the old movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger, what if it's The Terminator?
And that's why these actors and actresses are paid so much money because they can present themselves in so many different ways.
Yeah, so many different characters. Oh
because it's not necessarily them that they're presenting. They don't get on there and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? They actually have a character. They've got to get into character. Some of them even have to go as far as gaining weight, losing weight, and presenting themselves as that person. They have to dive deep into what the person is feeling and what their life was like all the way up until that point. What were some of the things that hurt them in their past? What are some of the things that they celebrate? Where are they trying to go in their life?
Exactly.
It gets so deep.
Yes, it's deep. And just Will Smith movies and oh my goodness, Denzel Washington. Oh my God, The Girls Trip, Queen Latifah, and all of them. Oh my goodness,
it was a huge award.
I know, I saw it on the yes.
I was so proud of
that. Just awesome movies. So for us talking about presentation, you can see where we're coming from. Yeah. It's in every area of the business industry. It's in the music industry, like she was saying. It's in the acting field. Presentation. So when you give your presentation, why not practice? Why not do your research? So when you talk to people, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, for real? I can do that? I feel that. I felt what he said. Yeah. Did you see that movie?" Oh, and what we start to do. Promote. Get into it. We get into it, and we also promote each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not, into presentation, hey, help some people out. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Talk about what they're presenting, what they're promoting. Yeah. That's what we're here on this earth to do. We're here to help each other. No one goes out to do anything by themselves.
That's true.
We think that. And sometimes we say that, but every time you turn around, somebody is involved in your life. You can say, "Oh, I'm a homebody. I don't do much," but you do go to the market. You do go to the grocery store. You might go to Walmart. You might go to the phone center. Mm-hmm. You might go to the beauty salon. And then what do? Someone's helping you with what you're coming for. Yeah. So you're not by yourself.
Right. We're always with other people. And, I like what you said. You got to be yourself. When you are your own authentic self, you just feel comfortable. You feel like when you feel like yourself, it comes off that way. And for me, I know I'm fairly new to presenting. I've done. Am I in front of the camera all the time? No.
Not the camera, but believe me,
I'm so new. I'm looking to get, really good at it. If baby,
She's good,
I'm
y'all.
looking
I'm
to get
sorry.
really
I gotta
good
give
at
her her
it one
props.
day.
She's a teacher. She's in the eyes, the cameras of the children's eyes.
Well, we are all, kids in a certain kind of way. So, whenever
Yeah.
you talk to people, I don't want to talk to people like they're kids,
No.
but I do want people to feel comfortable whenever they talk to me. So, like you were saying, be yourself. And so that's what I just be myself. There are a lot of different kinds of, personalities when I know like in the education industry and then even in our everyday lives, there are different people with personalities. And I
Yes.
think there was a man who broke it down really well, Greg Ammerman. He said, there are 4 main types of people, and he said, well, there's that summer personality person. When you present something to them, you want it to be fun, you want it to be energetic, you want it to have bright colors, you want it to be all about fun, vacationing, laughing, joy, all that stuff. Bring that to them, because that's a thing that's going to grab their attention and keep them on what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Then there's the fall personality, the kind of person who likes to study, they like to read, they get their energy from being alone so that they can recharge and then come back out into the world. They like to do their due diligence, they like to study, so then you respect, that's what they do, they like to check up on it and read and all that. And then there's the winter personality. And the winter personality is someone who loves making money. Money is their
money,
thing.
money. Level up.
And then, these people are very competitive. If there's a competition going on, they want to be a part of it because they like to win. And they like to win big, so that's the winter personality, and they are like sharks, Then there's the spring personality, and these people are very inclusive. They love teamwork. They like everything to be group and everyone to get along, and it doesn't matter, how much money they're making, they just want to make sure that everybody feels loved and welcomed and things like that, So everyone has been these 4 different personalities throughout their lifetime, and sometimes you are more one personality than the other. So if you feel like you're at a point where you need to make some money, then your winter side will start to be stronger. If you feel like I need to have more friends, and then your spring side will come out and show itself more. If you feel like it's time to turn up and have some fun, then your summer personality will come out. But if you know that you have something big going on, you've really got to study for it, and then your fall personality dominates and takes over.
That's awesome.
That
is awesome.
So it's good to respect whatever season people are in,
right?
So that you can work well with them.
Exactly. Like she was saying, as far as the personalities, I myself and try to be like excited all the time, but sometimes I do have to, calm it down and go into
She's such an exciting
my winter type person and things like that to get things done. Because it's a lot to do, and sometimes you can be doing too much. You need to slow down. Just, how people are like, you're doing too much. You need to slow down. No, I need to do a whole lot more. I'm trying to get these dollars.
I know. I saw somebody say, if I'm doing too much, find someone who's less. I said, that's a good one. I like doing too much.
That was a good one.
But there was one psychologist who was talking about like people when they're working with each other and how they react, and he had this study that was really interesting. His name was Robert Cialdini, and he is a behavioral psychologist, and he was talking about how people working together and the different personalities and everything. And one of the researchers said that they were trying to see who would include themselves with the group of people who work together. It's so important to work together. If you want to go fast, you've got to work with people.
You got to work with people.
And so they did this study they had people go into separate rooms and they did different activities. So one room, they did activities that that promoted teamwork, team building, and all of this. And the other room, they did activities that promoted them doing things like on their own. And they all came back into one room together, and there was people who dropped different items on the floor. When they dropped the different items on the floor, the test was to see who was going to pick it up. Who was going to help them?
What?
Who was going to help? And then every time, the people who helped were the people who had been doing the team building exercises. Those people every time were the ones who helped them to pick it up. And here's the most interesting part. All the people that I'm talking about are 18-month-old kids. These are all 18-month-old kids who rushed to help. And it was the ones who were doing the teamwork and the team building. I thought that was super interesting. He said because we have this hardwired into our brain to, when we've been conditioned to help, that we continue to help.
Wow.
I was like, wow, y'all did that with little kids?
That was good. Because if you think about that too, when you're out in your everyday life, you kind of notice those kind of people, even though you were just talking about the younger generation of kids. But if you notice, like when we're in a store or somewhere and, you need to move to the side or something like that, or if you drop something, it could be a man or a woman. They might just go and pick it up for you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they might not say I got it, but you just watch them and you're like, oh my God, they're helpers. You know what I mean? So you kind of can see that too in your everyday life, and even in driving, well, this is really, I don't want to say difficult, but I would even say, even in driving sometime, you'll see people look at you and be like, go ahead, you can go ahead. Give you the okay or go ahead and something like that. We're not going to talk about the other people. Because I don't want to get nobody upset that happen to see this and, get all up in your head about, what? You right. There's some rude people. We ain't talking about the rude people right now because we know, like she said, there are all types of people. And then, but she talked about all the good, the different personalities of the people. So we're not talking about the bad parts of their personality as well. We're promoting to promote people, to help. Yeah. And we're talking about presentation, but like she just said.
So that's why I just said the great attributes about these different personalities.
Yeah, we already know about the opposite,
Yeah.
That can happen. At any time.
But partnerships are super ultra important. We are always, because we work with different people, we see these different personalities all the time. You see the different personalities, and then you also know how to work with them, how to present the information in a way that's going to be beneficial to them.
Exactly.
And a way that's going to be beneficial to you.
Exactly.
Just like we have this, so we have so many different things for all the different types of people. One of the most popular that I gotta say is the most popular. Realtors love this.
What they love?
If you're gonna say, oh yeah, that part.
What?
Okay, so how I was talking about, I was kind of in the dark about like what was going on with my finances, and the realtors really love our partnership, our portal, where they get their own portal
website.
So, they get their own website. So whenever they have people who, right now, let me not be all over the place. Right now, different people are buying properties and things like that because people are in a good position financially. Yes. Right?
Yes.
And so you want to cater to those people, as a realtor, but then you also want to cater to the people who don't have, who need help with their credit. So one of the things that they really love is the realtors having that portal where they can see that people are getting their credit worked on, and they can keep in contact with them. Yeah, they can keep in contact with them, because how many times do realtors get frustrated because they say, because they might have sent somebody out to go and get their finances worked on, their credit worked on, but then they never see those people again.
Exactly. They're losing money.
Yeah.
They're losing money.
Yeah. So helping to monetize their whole book of business is one of those things that the realtors love, because they get to see also, with that partnership.
Yes.
They really, really love that part.
Right. Because I was even told, some realtors have told me that they've sent their clients to lenders. Lenders aren't credit repair people. So that's another reason why they
They are helpful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but they don't
but
actually
a lot of times
do it,
they
do
don't.
they?
No.
Right.
They
They
don't
don't
do that
actually do the credit themselves. They don't do
Yeah,
help
so
them to
that's why it's so important to have
the portal.
the portal,
Right.
And then also, if someone is a realtor, they have a whole process of, during the whole buying process, do this step, then that step, this step, then that step. Definitely, credit restoration is one of the steps that people need to do. The only thing is, a lot of times they're looking for, how do I get their credit repaired? And that
Right.
step is missing. So that's where
Yes.
we come in, and we are that step.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
reach out to Delcine, reach out to Vanessa, and that's what we do.
And
that's
bring
what we're
it
here for.
right, and bringing that subject up as well. If they don't have credit, which a lot of people are having a problem with getting credit, so we have a card. We have a secured platinum credit MasterCard credit card where we can help them they can apply for that as well to gain credit, start to build credit. And we also have another program called Credit My Rent, where we use that program to use your your rental history to boost your credit score. Yes, you want to get in touch with us. It's very important and it's very serious. You pay your rent every month and it never gets noticed, or you never get anything for it. Of course, you're working hard to pay your rent, but why not use this program to boost your credit score? Even if you don't have any credit. You can use it to start credit. Yes. So we have definitely a suite of other products and services where we can help you. Just get in touch with, again, like she said, myself, Delcine Thomas, on Facebook, on Instagram, or either
Vanessa Harrison on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Check me out.
check us out. Yes.
On that note, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. All about presentation.
With every moment I've experienced with you, I put into a space of forever. And we can't compromise what most misuse, 'cause only love will keep us together.
I love these kisses.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I can't shake this feeling. Sensational bliss from conversational perspectives. And just think, we ain't even got into the thick of it. I want to be lost in love with you, but also find our way. I want to dig deep in the mud with you and outgrow every obstacle that comes from day to day. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's making me go all in. And I ain't looking or thinking about who, what, why, or when. It's the intelligence for me, the confidence and swag, the happiness in knowing he can get the bag. I wish we knew what the future holds, but until then, we'll just keep hitting future goals. I'll just keep doing what I do, 'cause baby, all you need is me, and all I need is you.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche.
What? Tongue down.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
If you like this video, please share it.
And hit the subscribe button to watch more great Geico videos if you... Hey, guys, can you please watch the begonias? Just planted those.
Sorry.
Hello and welcome back to Race to Wealth. Thanks for joining us after the commercial break. You know, we're talking all about presentation, and presentation is everything.
Yes, it is. Presentation is everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go right in and just let you know about little information that I found out. Have you ever heard of an author by the name of Brian Tracy? One of the things that he talks about, he's awesome. One of the things that he talks about is the ability to speak with confidence and deliver winning presentations can accelerate your it accelerates people to earn a great respect. Yeah, it earns people to people gain great respect for what you're doing or what you're saying. It also helps you will achieve your greatest, most impossible, seeing your goals evolve. It's like, wow, okay, Mr. Brian Tracy.
He has
to buy his
great
book. information. That drew me right in.
He's up in age, and he still puts out book after book after book, video after video after video. He's a great presenter, and he was talking about how he had everything down to a step-by-step process.
Right.
How to write a book. Boom, 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 boom. What? How to research a topic. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
The man is awesome.
Wow.
When it comes to presenting, there was something that I read also from the psychologist I was talking about earlier, who said there are some things that are so simple that help with a presentation. It goes from a huge idea to a more smaller, compact way of, presenting.
Right.
Did you know that when you are out in the open, in wide open spaces, the sky is above you, and you just breathe in the fresh air, and you see the trees, and you can hear the birds chirping, that your mind is at its most open. So you're open to big and bright ideas. You're a better problem solver and all of those things. And for that reason, if you're presenting, if you're in a classroom, if you're in an office, they say that flowers and greenery and things like that help people to be open to your ideas, help them to be open to what it is that you have to say, because they're open to solving different problems and all of that. And that's one of the reasons why when men want a woman to be open to a relationship, they bring them flowers. Right.
That is so awesome. I never heard it put that way before.
It's a grand
But that
gesture.
is so true. But
to say, I want you to be open to,
you're going to just tell it all. Don't tell it all, okay? Well, this is a woman's note. Men that are watching, no shade. I'm just saying, y'all, it's because y'all get all those flyers. Okay, let me stop. Oh, sorry.
But, I thought that was so interesting. And it is, and even after somebody has a performance, you want to continue to encourage them to continue to reach for the stars. After their performance, you bring them flowers to let them know that that you believe that they can do even more and even greater. And I was eating up that stuff my
you
gosh.
You got a lot of flowers because you sure got the girl. You are just lit. You can just see you get a little flush in the cheeks and everything.
Flowers are nice.
But you know what? You are right. I even, on another personal note, I really like to walk in the morning. I like to, I could be like, getting up and, okay, you got a routine going, and I'm fortunate right now I can, go walking before I get in my office, and things like that. And even though I'm at home, but I still feel so good. I'm like, let me go walking. I'll be, everything is going on mentally. I know I'm going to come back and I'm doing my spiritual reading. I'm going to lock this down. But she is, for me, I think it's for everybody really. Yeah. But to get out and even just to go walking, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes just to be out with some trees and, like she said, in the open space, it just does something for you.
Yeah.
It really does something for you. I never thought about that. I guess you could say the same for people that go on vacations.
Oh,
Even if it's a weekend, when you go down to Galveston, if you live in Houston, or whatever state you live in where there is a beach, you know, that you might like to go to, or a park. Everybody's at the park. Everybody's at the park.
Yeah.
And people are, the kids are running around, riding their bikes. And you know what? That is so real.
Yeah, that's so real.
That is so real. I love that analogy.
If you're presenting something and you're out in the open, I mean, it could be well received.
That is awesome. Oh, my God. I love that. I love that.
Yep.
So, on another note, there's another author that I had gotten some information from her, and she was talking about presentation and how it's meant to inform, inspire, persuade the audience, and she's right. Well, just like we were talking about as far as movies and things like that, and they say that some people don't get what you're talking about because you didn't make them feel it. You didn't draw them in. You didn't give them a story like the beginning. Like say if you were an actor. I'm an actor. Well, how they introduce people, like an Oprah show or any other of the other talk shows that's out there now. Even the nighttime talk show. We're gonna have Will Smith on, and he's done all these movies. Blah 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 blah. And that's even in the gospel community when they introduce Yolanda Adams. They're gonna talk about her awards she's won. Yeah. She's a Grammy nominated. For so many awards, and she's she's an awesome singer. She's just all of her the accolades that you can give her.
Yeah. That's a great thing to prepare the audience for who's about to come on.
Yeah.
But I bet it does a lot for the person who's going out onto the stage because sometimes we may as presenting something, you may not feel as confident in yourself. You just finished running around doing all these things and you get out on stage to hear these great things about you, to let you know that you are on the right track. You have done these great things in your life. Maybe it boosts you up a little bit to say, all right, let's go.
That's right. Because you never know. In life, people do go through tragedies, and they are unfortunate. But then when you have paid somebody to come and do a business presentation, you almost depending on the devastation, you almost have to push that on the side because you've been paid to present. So like she just said, and someone introducing you, it helps to uplift you and encourage you because you're going on stage and you need to be able to fulfill your obligation.
And no matter what, you got to fulfill those obligations.
Because they pay you, unless you're going to give the money back.
Yeah, that's so true.
But then again, that's not always the fact either. Because they hold you accountable for it in black and white on a contract.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
With what I just said compared to what I just said, they want you. Yeah, they paid you the money, but when they want you, okay, just think about it. How Denzel just gonna back up out of a movie? You know what I mean? If they just paid him $400 million, and you got a hurt ankle, you gonna wrap that sucker up, let them shoot you with some Novocaine, like they do the basketball players. God forgive me, I'm sorry. I don't know. Is that what they do? I think that's what. Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe not basketball players, but I have heard in different arenas. When it comes to physical fitness, they make it happen. Yeah. They take them back. They might wrap their ankle up as best they can. Maybe they'll play 2 more times, whether it's football or basketball. But they're going to get out there for that $100 million.
Yeah.
Or wrap my ankle up. Yeah. I'm going to do the best I can, so.
I just had a friend who went to Vegas to see this performer. And whenever she got there, her and some of her crew on a kind of like girls trip, the person they went to go see didn't perform in Vegas. Mr. Mars. But you know, they went through a lot to get there. You know, they packed their bags, they had a flight, they had all of these things, and you know, got a babysitter and all of that. And you know, people really, when they invest and say that they're going to do something, they really put a lot on the line sometimes so that they can make it happen. So you don't want to be the person when you're presenting yourself or you're going to do business with someone, you definitely want to be the person who is reliable, who's going to show up, who's going to be there, put all of your things to the side and show up and make it happen, because you don't know what they had to do to show up and make it happen. So you want to make sure that you're there for them. You know, present yourself in that kind of way.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, presentation is everything. And one of the things about presenting is that if you're on for a certain amount of time, you take that time and then be out. So that's all the time that we have for today. Again, I'm your host, Vanessa Harrison.
And I'm your host, Delcy Thomas.
We are coming to you through Boss Up Houston Network. If you'd like to reach out to them, please do so at bossuphouston@gmail.com. Also, check out some of the other amazing shows that we have on the network. Until next time, see ya.
See ya. Bye.